All right, this is episode 2 of saving Kimberly, and I think what I'm going to do is just save the engine off of Kimberly, because as I showed you, this thing has come loose. It's missing a piece, and it's in such bad shape that its wheel is rubbing the deck, so it's in rough shape. And so what I'm going to do is try and get this engine off here and put it on another mower. And I've disconnected the battery from the mower, which is right there. These, where did they go? Anyway, yep, there's the end of it. So that connects to that little starter. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to use the pull cord. So I've taken up the slack in the pull cord and put a rubber band around it so it doesn't get tangled into things. And I've got a temporary kill switch here. So once I get this engine off and I put it on another deck, just to test it, when I crank it and it's running and I want to shut it off, I go like that, and it'll shut off. And then when it goes back, it's ready to start again. It's just for testing. That's not a long-term solution. So let's go around this way and do some of the things we've got to do to get this engine off and not have it be so heavy. I'm thinking to show you how to get this starter motor off of the side of the mower, because I don't need that, don't want that. And to get to that, I'm going to take the tank off. So with that, you get a 5/16 socket, and you got 3 little screws up here. 1, 2, and the last one is here in the back. That's 3. That's what holds this plastic tank on, and that sits on top of the rewinder. And there's also a screw down here that fits into the side of the engine block, but somebody's worked on this mower and lost it. So it's missing, but I've got spares. We'll worry about that later. The other thing I can tell that somebody's gone in and worked on this is these screws here are not even flush, so obviously somebody's worked on that. And it's missing one, which is not all that important, but it just helps hang this. But these two screws are the ones that hold to the carburetor, and there's too big of a gap there. So somebody's been into this, and they've lost that screw and left that sort of unattached. But at least now, once I get these out, I'll flip this tank back and get the starter motor off of here. I think it'll go back. I may have to take that battery holder off before it comes back, but we'll see. Let's take a look. All right, so I got those 3 done. Let me get my little magnet here. And we'll pick those up. 1, 2, 3. All right, so those are ready to be reinstalled at some point. Let's see how far back this is going to swing. All right, this is good. Okay, I can get to this. There is no fuel in this tank, so I think I'll go ahead and, well, let's see. Let me see if I can get this thing up and out of the way. Yeah, I'm just going to disconnect this thing, so let's see if we can get it off right here. Grabbing that hose clamp and move it forward. And now I'll see if I can get this tank off of here. Yeah, looks like it's sort of wanting to come loose. I don't know. It's not wanting to come loose. Let's try this one. Maybe that will spin around and come off. Trying to get this tank loose, but it ain't working. It ain't working, people. The hose clamp up there is not even attached to the carburetor, so come on, guys. course, these hose clamps are wanting to jab me in the hand. All right, let me get a screwdriver on there and see if that'll help. Yep. Yep. Bumping my camera. Hang on a second. Push on this thing and see if I can get it out of there. Come on, you. I'm just going to do a couple 360s here. See if that'll sort of help loosen this thing a little. It's a tough one. But when all else fails, I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to want to replace this anyway. I'm going to replace this whole hose at some point, so let's just cut this son and get it off of here. All right, so that's off. Let's see if any gas leaks out of this thing. It's completely dry. That's good. We got that out of the way. Now we can get to this starter mower, or excuse me, starter motor pretty easily. There's a 3/8 there, and there is another 3/8 down there, and I think it'll pop off. May even have to take that off. So let me see if I'm right about that. So give me a 3/8 here. I'm going to go underneath. Put one there. And there's one here. Maybe another one, I can't remember. We're going to see. There is the starter motor, and is attached by that wire, but I don't really care about that, so I'm going to cut that as well. And this will be metal recycled. Now this engine will be a lot less heavy, and hopefully I can go underneath and get this out. And the other big test is getting these the motor mount screws that hold these on. Sometimes these things will just shear off. They get rusted and set on there, and then you got to figure out another way to mount your engine. But let's take a pause here. That was a lot of information, and then we'll start getting this engine off this deck. Stay tuned. We're going to save Kimberly one way or the other.